we launched in September 2020 our sustainable roadmap called our committed journey, with a social roadmap aiming to impact positively society and an environmental roadmap aiming to preserve natural resources. Our environmental goals are to responsibly source all our raw materials, to fight against climate change through an ambitious action plan to decrease our carbon emissions, and to deploy circular creativity processes. And we do that through quantified objectives towards 2025 and, of course, align with Life 360 commitments. Our first stake is to responsibly source all our raw materials. So we are aiming to reach 100% of the raw materials we are using to be recycled or environmentally certified by 2025. At the end of 2022, we already reached 78%. Second objective that we have is to erase the use of single-use plastic for our packaging. By 2022, we already decreased by 43% the volume of this plastic in our packagings. Our second stake is to fight against climate change. So in July 2021, we've been validated by the Science Based Targets initiative to be part of the PAS 1.5 program to decrease our carbon emission. So we've got the ambition to limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees. And to do that, we've got to decrease our carbon footprint by 55%. At the end of 2022, we already reached minus 25% in this decrease. So we got some targets also for this carbon emission reduction. We are supporting these commitments with two main objectives. The first one is to equip all our stores in the world with LED bulbs, which are emitting less carbon because they are using less energy. Last but not least, we also want to run all our warehouses and workshops in the world with renewable energy. End of 2022, we already reached 70% of the energy used in these workshops and warehouses to come from renewable energy sources. Our third stake is to deploy circular creativity processes for all our products, windows, fashion shows, and events in the world. So we are targeting that 100% of our categories of products will be committed to this eco-design process through a life cycle analysis measurement, meaning that we're going to measure the environmental impact of all our products by 2025. At the end of 2022, we already reached 60% of our categories of product to be committed to this eco-design process. Last but not least, we are also aiming that 100% of the materials we are using for our windows, fashion shows, and exhibition will be whether recycled or coming from environmentally certified processes. And at the end of 2022, already 90% of the materials we are using for our fashion shows are whether recycled or environmentally certified. We have been advancing since 2020 on the path of sustainable development through the objectives of our committed journey. And after 2 years, we felt ready to embrace a more holistic project to strengthen our positive contribution on a global scale beyond our own value chain. That's why, in line with Louis Vuitton's objective of preserving natural resources, we have signed, beginning of 2023, a 5-year global conservation agreement with a non-governmental organization, People for Wildlife, to work together on protecting and regenerating biodiversity in a 1 million acres area in the Queensland, in the north of Australia, with its local community. People for Wildlife is an Australian-based NGO focusing on the preservation of biodiversity, which specifically aims to preserve key conservation lands around the globe. Created in 2020, this NGO is led by Dr. Daniel Natouche, who is a world-renowned conservationist expert, member of the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, who's been living and working there during his PhD. This project contributes to the LVMH target of restoring 5 million hectares of flora and fauna habitat by 2030, and to the recent objective of the COP15 dedicated to biodiversity to protect 30% of the emerging areas in the world. Concretely, we will be directly supporting scientific research in the field. We will be monitoring wildlife species and understanding how to control invasive species. We will also be working on contributing to carbon sequestration by controlling fire and restoring habitats, And last but not least, we will be closely working with the local community to create sustainable economic models for nature-based materials. As a conclusion, we do believe at Louis Vuitton that it is our absolute priority to contribute positively to the environment, both inside our organization and beyond our value chain, by fighting against climate change and deploying a regenerative approach of nature.